Welcome back to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex and today we're taking a look at Maneater on the Nintendo Switch. Now this one, it's been out for a while on other platforms with its more than out there kind of idea. But how does it stand up on the Switch and is it going to be worth your cash? Well, hit subscribe if you love the Switch, as much as we all do here, join our growing family and let's get started. It's a story, and yes indeed there is a story to this one, and that is one of revenge. Starting the game you are an adult shark as the game teaches you the controls in what could be considered a prologue. Quickly you happen across a beach, so it's basically a human buffet and you get to work chowing down. Things they escalate, blood is everywhere in a gratuitously over the top fashion, and hunters show up to take you down. A quickish fight later though, and Scaly Pete shows up, a legendary shark hunter that just happens to be filming his own reality show. He kills you, but not before cutting you open to discover a baby shark. There's a struggle though that ensues as he holds this baby. The baby rips off his arm, and now you take control of that baby shark, pup shark, and you must evolve and grow and get revenge on the man who killed your mother. It's absolutely nuts, but it's fun in that kind of B-movie sort of way. I enjoyed it though, mostly because, well, basically it's got this solid sense of humour, and then there's a narrator that manages to inject some much needed personality to the whole adventure. So gameplay, and the best way to describe this one, it's an action adventure open world with some minor RPG systems just to kind of round things out. For the most part though, the idea is simple: work towards that end goal of Scaly Pete by completing the story based missions, whether that's taking down Pete supporters or taking on the local sea life to grow and just become the ultimate swimming weapon. It's not deep in any way, but you can expect a swim faster button. I guess it wouldn't be called sprint here. The ability to jump, the ability to kind of dodge, and of course then the ability to chomp. You can even do a spin tail attack as well, and you get sonar early in the game. Also, while I'm on that note, if you're wondering about all the humans you see on land as well, not just the ones who are, stupid enough to go into what appears to be the deadliest water in the world, you can even survive on land by just simply jumping on it. It's only for a brief moment. There is a meter that's tied to it, but it's one of the weirdest things I've seen in a game in a while. If you can top shark barreling across a golf course in a game recently, let me know in the comments down below. I definitely want to play it. The story though is relatively simple stuff though, as I say, and its general theme is basically death and destruction for progression. The game's menus then make it simple. You basically pick a level, see a waypoint appear on screen, and yeah, you swim towards it. It's definitely not deep in its combat mechanics though, but it is a lot of fun in kind of this arcade style way, and the world is also a great time to explore as you watch your shark grow. It gives you access to new areas, and there's actually quite a few secrets under the water. The world then, yes, it is open, but it's split almost into biomes as well, so you can expect some different themes, from swamps to major city waters. It all leads to a little variety. Around these missions then you can also expect side missions, a fair few collectibles such as abandoned license plates, and yeah, a whole lot of local wildlife to meet. All of these actions though, they not only push the story forward, but this is where the RPG side of things comes into play, because there is essentially 4 currencies here. That's protein, oils, minerals and mutagen. This bit here though, that is essential. Leveling up leads to the shark growing up and getting bigger, but we use this to add on what the game calls then evolutions, and these can even be upgraded. So for example, maybe you'll improve your sonar, different body types to impact your stats, even things like bioelectrical teeth, my personal favourite, and for sure a nasty way for those inhabiting this world to go out. Rounding out the gameplay then, we have what's known as the infamy system. This is essentially the general public's fear of you, so you increase it, and 1 of 10 hunters, they will show up who progressively increase in difficulty. They're almost like mini boss moments basically. I actually really enjoyed this system though, as it's by far the most challenging element of the game, and it pushes my kind of inner shark to the max. So problems, and I've played this game before, it's far from perfect, I will tell you that, but I do still really like it. It is repetitive though. First off, what you see in those opening moments is what you get the whole way through. This one basically relies on its sense of humour and originality to a certain extent to carry it, and it succeeds for the most part, but it definitely wears thin by the end of its 8 or so hour runtime. This, it's mainly because it's not deep, it's more button bashing than anything else. There may be the odd bit of strategy here and there, but they're kind of few and far between. On top of this then, sharks, they move fast, and in this case the camera has a tough time keeping up, the usual third person issue, but here it's almost pushed further because there's more verticality as you can go up and down and can be surrounded than in most other games out there. Sadly then though, the main issue here with the Switch version, it does have performance issues. First up, a weird one, the opening intro after the prologue, it wouldn't play. I tried it twice, hopefully an easy fix in the future, but it did at least let me skip it. You don't miss any story or anything, it's just kind of music and character intros. Then though, the frame rate, it starts off decent enough. I was actually impressed with the game, but the further you get in, the more kind of exaggerated the world gets around you, and it definitely begins to struggle with like almost minor freezes, and I'd say a low here of around 20 frames per second. This one is though targeting 30, and for a decent chunk of the game it does succeed at that, but the further you get and the harder the game gets just due to the sheer enemy count on screen, the more the frame rate is impacted, making that scenario even more difficult. I still though do think it's playable though, and by the end I still had that very same sense the first time I played it, which was I'm kind of glad it's over, feeling the burnout, that is for sure, but it was still a very cool game, and no doubt it's going to be a game I'll be referencing up there on the weird scale for a long time to come. So graphically, it's for sure seen some cutbacks to get things up and running, but I actually think they've done a very good job here, and they've made some smart calls, like for example humans on beaches, they have less frames in their animation. That I will absolutely take. Monster Hunter Rise used that exact same strategy. It didn't really bother me here though, because for me it was either this or a smaller kind of lunch menu, and I like the big lunch it presents. The ocean looks good though, and the game's particularly impressive underwater. It's just okay when you're kind of swimming on top of it looking out into the world, but there's definitely a nice variety of locations still, like I said, from swamps to the wealthy cities to the biological areas, and then it just manages to use this to keep things feeling fresh in a game that could have very easily visually been repetitive. Issues on the visual front outside of that downgrade though, there's for sure some pixelation on show thanks to the resolution downgrade. The character models on any platform can be repetitive and low detail, especially on the beaches, and then noticeable texture and object popping in the distance. Doesn't impact the gameplay though, and that's the best possible outcome. So yeah, look, visually overall it's got some rough edges, that's probably the best way to describe it, but the good here at moments, it can be really good. So audio, finally, the music is forgettable stuff while in keeping with the theme, and the sound effects, I like them. Simple, over the top stuff, you know, screams of a sea life, all that kind of good stuff. Occasionally a sound does miss, like some of the sharks kind of sounded like whimpering dogs at times, and the screams can get just super repetitive and just grating by the end game. Overall though, I think they did what they absolutely needed to. I think the highlight though has to be the voice acting, as they fully embrace the B-movie nature of this one with every single line they deliver from that narrator, and then some of the supporting cast as well. So the final verdict, and if you've ever wanted to play an upgradable shark, this is your game. Not that I think you have any other choice that I can think of. Pretty sure this is actually like a first of its kind. It embraces the B-movie nature of it all though from those opening moments, and it delivers what is a consistent if repetitive gameplay loop that no doubt will put a smile on your face. Just maybe take it in small sessions and not a couple of larger sittings, because that's the real issue I always face with this one. Like 60-minute gameplay sessions here, absolutely perfect. Sadly though, the Switch build, it is the weakest, and more visually, they've done a great job honestly, they still can't quite keep performance where it needs to be for that entire run. That's a shame as well, because the first couple of hours they just feel great, and then it slowly but surely starts to buckle under the weight of everything it's trying to do. That said though, still I don't want to call this one average. I like the game, and I still had no issue getting through this version of it. I'll just say this though, own another platform, definitely start there first, because it's not only going to be better in its performance, but it's also going to be a whole lot cheaper, because this is a relatively old game. A slightly above average, a 6 out of 10 from me for a game that on other platforms would probably be more like a 7. If this is your only option though, I'd still recommend it, just purely because, well, based on its completely out there kind of concept. Will you be adding this one to your library though, or will you be holding onto that cash? With that, a shout out to the patrons of the channel though, who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch. As much as we will do here, join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.